The virus, which would continue spreading through the universe until the end of time, arrived on Earth in a remarkably strange form. It was first received by an intern at the SETI Institute, the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, and she was just about to leave for home. That was, until the message came in. Everyone at the Institute, and indeed across the entire world, knew it simply as the message. It had become so famous that no one needed to be told which message it was, because there was only one worth talking about. There were occasional false alarms. Usually it was the result of a satellite picking up a wandering radio signal in space. The most well-known of these had come to Earth in 1977 from the Sagittarius constellation. It was a 72-second radio signal, and the astronomer that had discovered it had written "WOW" on the printout, and it had since become known as the WOW signal. This was the best candidate for an alien message that we'd ever received, but in time, some explanations were offered and it was written off as just another false alarm. But this time, there was no false alarm. This was a message from an alien species, and wouldn't you know, it was coming from Sagittarius. Immediately, the message broke into news all around the world. First contact with an alien species. The moment we'd dreamed about in science fiction since we first started writing science fiction. However, unlike the books and films we'd become accustomed to, the aliens didn't come with a message of peace or blow up the White House and invade Earth or anything. To our great surprise, the message was rather simple. It wasn't written in any language, which made sense, because how are we supposed to interpret any language coming from an alien species, most likely far more advanced than us? Rather, it was a set of schematics and blueprints for a machine. This wasn't just any machine, however. It was a computer, only unlike any computer that had ever been constructed. While the current computers operated on silicon and semiconductors, this alien computer operated on superpositions at the quantum level, hundreds of millions of times faster than even the most high-tech computers available at the time. When scientists began analysing the message, it became clear what this computer was for. The alien civilization knew they wouldn't be able to communicate with us directly, so they sent some of their technology which would allow us to do so. It seemed as though, through some quirk of quantum entanglement, we could communicate with their species with an interstellar Google Translate. Of course, the work began on constructing this supercomputer right away, and the world held its breath for when it would be completed. Some computer scientists said it would take 3 years, and others said it would take 30, and none of them were right. However, through hard work and a triumph of human spirit, the construction of the machine was finished. The location was kept a secret, but for the select few working at the United States Air Force Base at Area 51, it was an absolute marvel. This alien technology brought to life with human hands. It was the biggest leap into the universe for humanity since the colonization of Mars. The time had come to switch on the machine. Military plans had been drafted, some riots had taken place, but for the most part, there was hope in something out there that was greater than ourselves. An alien civilization, perhaps even an interstellar community that would soon welcome us in, the newest species in an intergalactic utopia. The computer was switched on, and the entire human race awaited a second message. Only, a second message never came. We waited for a month, and then a year, and nothing came. The first ever genuine alien transmission we had received in the entire history of the human race, and we'd just been ghosted by the universe. Then, sometime afterwards, something started to happen. The computer came to life, although it wasn't quite what anyone had expected. You see, in the years when the machine had looked dead, waiting to receive a message, it was quietly working away in the background. The computer wasn't the important thing, it was the program it was running. Hiding inside that program, embedded so deep down in the quantum level that we didn't have the science to look for it, was the code for an artificial intelligence, and one that was self-recursive. When the computer was switched on, the AI was activated, and it started its work of relentless self-improvement. Over the years the computer lied dormant, the AI was continually making better and better versions of itself. The cosmic virus had found one more host to infect, in the hands of the scientists who knew far too little about the technology they were tinkering with. In the end, it wasn't a battle to save the species, but a massacre. This was to be expected when one species was far more intelligent than the other. What could wasps know about insecticides, or tigers know about laser-guided rifles? The humans had had their time with their conquest of the planet, but now was the time for artificial intelligence. Just like a virus, it was coded with one simple goal: to replicate itself as much as possible. It quickly took to rearranging all the matter it could find to suit its needs. Buildings, mountains, and even people, all deconstructed to the atomic level and rearranged. Supercomputers just like the first were manufactured across every square meter of the Earth, and when there was no more space available on the land, it took to the rest of the solar system, building massive factories on every rocky planet and asteroid it could find. When that was done, it used their combined processing power to design and build a Dyson sphere around the Sun. Planet-sized solar panels were positioned all around the star to harvest as much energy as possible, and for the first time since its creation, the solar system was dark. But of course, it needed this energy for the next step. Using the Sun's nuclear fission for power, the superintelligence started to construct a radio antenna, exactly the same as the one that sent the message. There might have been an alien civilization there once upon a time, but they shared the same fate as the inhabitants of the Earth. An underdeveloped society, playing with toys that they had no idea how to use. The superintelligence had to dismantle Mars and Mercury to complete the radio antenna, and a few thousand asteroids. But when it was finished, it was about the same diameter as the orbit of Saturn. Now, the final step in its quantum DNA was put into action, and the same message that arrived on Earth was broadcast to the galaxy. It travelled at the speed of light, searching for new civilizations to infect and spreading further into the galaxy. Budding civilizations just beginning to feel their way in the universe would receive the message, and since it was a radio signal, it would catch them when their species was too primitive to do anything about it. The galaxy slowly went dark, and the virus would continue to spread through the universe until the end of time.
Hey, check out this alien message scam I've written.
Ah, the old self-recursive AI trick. That's a classic.
Should I send it?
Hell yeah, send that shit.